And my first question, Russian Representative Medvedev called you how professional assassins, and you would be taken into a special account about it. What do you think about his thoughts? What you can say about Medvedev's words?
I can't hear you quite well.
Yeah, you are special murderer. You are killers, and Medvedev, ex-president of the Russia. Now he is Deputy Security Council. He called all foreigners like professional assassins, murderer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understood. No, I'm no professional assassin. I'm a civilian who worked a normal job. I have some gun experience, but on the shooting range. Before this war, I didn't have any military experience. All the guys who I know who are foreigners, very few of them have any combat experience.
Oh, for example, have you killed any Russian during this war?
No, I haven't. I've been on evacuation missions, and the Ukrainians are the one who did the protecting and killing.
And you are helping to evacuate Ukrainian from which part of Ukraine, which oblast?
Kiev.
Kiev, capital. And the second question from our editors, what prompted you to decide to defend Ukraine?
Both of my mom is from Ukraine, my dad's parents are from Ukraine. From my mom's side,
your mom's side from Ukraine. You're half Ukrainian. Your father Finnish. Your mother side is Ukrainian. From which part of Ukraine?
Yeah. Khmelnytsky Oblast.
Okay, continue, please. It's very interesting. Could you tell us a story of your family?
Yeah. So my mom was born here, and she moved to Estonia when she was 17. I was born there, and in 2008 I moved to Finland. And the reason why I came here was because in the old ages wars were fought with soldiers, but this isn't, you can't even call this a war. This is just killing civilians and children. This is a genocide. This isn't a war. Nobody's fighting with the army. I've seen how the Russians fight. They don't fight with the army. All they do is kill civilians, rape women, kill children. At the evacuation, when we evacuated people, the Russians didn't shoot at the military personnel. They shot at the bus with full of kids, women, civilians. They didn't care about us. So have
you been decided to join evacuation teams or volunteer teams from the first day of the war, or you have decided it after the murderer in Bucha around the Kiev? Tell us this about this decision.
So I had some training in with the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. After when it was happening and we just sat around, I decided that I can be more useful here. So I left the Foreign Legion and I came to Kiev, and I joined a battalion where were mostly Ukrainian civilians and foreign civilians. Ukrainians even had very little experience.
Could you tell us a little bit about foreign legions? I know something, maybe secret information, but for example, but what can you tell us about who are in this legion, from which countries? And as for me, I was explained that foreign legions consist not only foreigners, but Ukrainians too into these legions for communication, for collaboration between foreigners and Ukrainian citizens. What can you tell us about this legion? Some interesting details, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So they didn't take in the Ukrainians. If you have an Ukrainian passport, military, the Legion is only for people who are not born in Ukraine or don't have a Ukrainian passport. So you can have two passports. You can have an Ukrainian passport and, let's say, Irish passport. So if you have two passports, that means you basically don't live here, but you were born here. So in that case, they can't take you in. You can join the Foreign Legion. But over 2 weeks that I was training with them, there were a lot of civilians who never held guns in their hands, people with bad mental health, or people just, I don't know, wanted to advance against Russia. But the problem was that they didn't know what they were signing up. They were just thinking, okay, this is cool, I want to join, I want to fight. The fact is that when we got bombed in Yavoriv, we saw a lot of like 60% of people left. They weren't mentally ready for it. They got scared, people got killed. So they left, and the organization, I don't know what Russia thinks about it, but all I can say that the Ukrainian Foreign Legion, well, it had some issues. It wasn't perfect because it was made really fast. They needed like people to train quick and get out on the field. But the problem is good soldiers you can't train quick and just go. So a lot of issues there that needed to be handled, but after I left, I heard that those issues weren't handled even after that.
Have you ever been in Ukraine before the war, in the peaceful Ukraine?
Yeah, I have. My cousins live here, so I've been a few times here. Came here to visit them when my cousins' kids were born. I was here, but mostly in peaceful times. I wanted to come this summer. I wanted to come here and visit my cousins, but when the war broke out,
well,
I
your
just couldn't.
Your cousins is 100% Ukrainians. They live in Khmelnytsk.
Yeah.
And what do you think about southern part of Ukraine, occupied Crimea? War in Crimea started 8 years ago. After then, in the new phase of the war, Russia occupied Kherson and a little bit Zaporizhia region. What do you think about liberalization of this part of Ukraine, southern Ukraine?
So about Crimea, when Crimea was occupied, I was pretty young, so I didn't like it because still people were suffering.
How old are you?
I'm 26 years old.
26. You was 17 when it was started. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So at that point, I didn't understand what was going on, why this was happening. But as I understood, there were a lot of people who were Russians in Crimea, so they wanted to join Russia. And when like Luhansk and Zaporizhia and places like those were occupied, I didn't see it like a reason that, okay, yeah, we have people who speak Russian or Russian citizens that live here, that now we can take this for ourselves. So this like belongs to us now. That
maybe this question you accepted like a small provocation for you, but in Crimea, indigenous people of Crimea, Crimeans or Crimean Tatars, different names of the nation, indigenous people, Ukraine accepted it like by the law and by the parliament, that indigenous people, Crimeans, Crimean Tatars, Krymchaks and Karayimis, very close, very close. The difference only in religion, one of them Muslims, mostly Muslims, a little bit Karayims, and small Jewish community, but all of them are Crimeans. And Christianity group on the Mariupol. They are called Urums or Rumeis, and the Crimean original nations, but 8 years under the occupation. And it's important for Europe that Muslim people occupation, it's not so important like Ukrainian occupation. For example, all of the world knows about this problem with Crimean Tatars, with pressure on Crimean Tatars, or I have making mistake, and for new Europe, for your generation, it doesn't matter. Muslim origins under the occupation and pressure, Christian or agnostic or something else. What could you tell us about this situation with Crimea and Crimean Tatars?
I know very little about that, but as long as how I view the world is that, like, Crimea was part of Ukraine. It doesn't matter who lives there, what nationality or what kind of beliefs you are. You can't just...
Look, Romeo, for example, for Scandinavia, indigenous people, Sams, and all of the world know about small Sami people in Sweden, in Finland, in Norway. Sami people, indigenous people of the South.
We have Sami.
The same situation, Crimeans, original Crimeans, they are Muslims, but like Turkish, not so religion, but Muslims. They are indigenous people.
Yeah.
They were deported several times from, they have own state, like Crimean Kingdom, until the end of the 17th century. It was annexation by Second Catherine, the Tsarist of the Russia, and it's a very famous history in the Europe world. That's why it's very important. Yes, there is Ukraine, but there is Crimean Peninsula with origin people, citizen of Ukraine, but origin people. And it's very important to know what's the situation with these people who under not only occupation, it's like assimilation, it's like genocide against small indigenous nation, like about 500,000 people inhabitants, 2 million in Crimea, 500,000 of Crimeans, and this situation not very well articulated in European medias. That's why it's very important for foreigners to know, to explain this situation for all Europe. What do you think about it?
Yeah.
About Crimea, and liberalization of Crimea and liberalization of Crimean Tatars too.
Yeah, well, that's a hard question for me. I've never digged in that deep about Crimea, but war is war. It doesn't matter who annexed it. We live in a free world. Everybody should choose for themselves how to live. But you can't just like go into a city, start bombing, killing people. For me, example, when I lived in Estonia, we didn't like there, so we moved out. We moved to Finland. The same goes to every person that is listening. If you don't like somewhere, go where you like. Nobody is holding you. But if, like, even the presidents and nobody should have the power to take Crimea or any country because they think so, or they see the world.
I see. Now you are trying to explain Russian position. For example, Russians are majority in Crimea. If you don't like Ukrainian Crimea, you can move from the Crimea to other Russian territories. Is it correct?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you don't like somewhere, you can go either live somewhere else. You don't even have to go back to Russia. You can go back to Finland, or the world is full of places where you can go.
Romeo, thank you very much. Nice to meet you, and good luck in Ukraine and helping with evacuation. Peaceful people around the Kiev. I hope Kiev will be peaceful until the ending of the war, the finishing war.
Kiev is now peaceful, thank God. The people are starting coming back. There's life is back in Kiev. We see more and more people every day here.
Thank you very much, and good luck for your friends too.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
See you
Bye,
soon.
bye. See you.